we have here Vessi from Sali, Sit Happy. Vessi, you have said that the way we are sitting and our posture and the fact that we're spending so much time sitting in our work these days, not moving much and sitting in very unnatural ways, this is affecting our health in all kinds of sitting disorders. Can you tell us more about these sitting disorders?
Yes, sitting disorders is a phrase which I have determined or made up, and it's tremendously important awareness in health, the world, because immobility in general is against the nature. The caveman and our ancestors who were gatherer hunters, they were moving most of the day, and now the modern man is sitting down on the desks and other immobile places, which is clearly harming their health, taking down their energy and making them ugly.
When you say harming our health, can you give examples, or what are some of the symptoms of when our health is suffering?
Most common sitting disorders is shoulder and neck stiffness, which I would say 90% of the sedentary workers suffer if they sit the conventional way. And the stiffness is blocking the circulation of the head, causing headaches, degeneration of neck vertebrae, and so on and so on. Lots of bad stuff. And maybe the second, one of the most important things is also low back pain. In Finland, we have, out of 5.3 million inhabitants, we have 800,000 people which have low back pain, which is also like a sign of advanced low back degeneration.
Okay, and you think that can easily be solved with adjusting the way we work?
Exactly, it can be in most, well over 90% of the cases. So we do have genetic things, we have other issues which affect on the low back, but if we have optimized our sitting environment, things don't happen badly. And if they already have, like we have thousands and thousands of customers who have adopted saddle chair and good sitting in different professions after they have got the low back pain, which gradually has become worse. And when they start sitting properly, it's usually 1 to 2 weeks, and in 90% of the cases, the pains go away.
Can you show what we're talking about? So we're talking about these Sali chairs that you have made. We're actually sitting on them here. I think you have to lift it a tiny bit for the camera. It looks like this, where you're basically sitting with your legs on both sides of the chair. And that's what we're talking about here, the way to improve sitting.
Yeah, and the sit bones are supporting here on both sides of the gap, which are the only...
Because I think that you can't see it. It looks like that. So you're sitting on both sides.
Which, yeah, I would need to open up the gap a little bit for you.
So this is how you sit properly. Like that. Yeah. Okay. So it's almost like riding a horse.
It's very much like an... Actually, this position is exactly the same as dressage riding position.
We just wanted to show you because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense what we're talking about here. Like, how do you sit? All right. Yeah. So an optimized workspace looks... with chairs like this. What else do we need to optimize our workspace? I work from home, mostly online, so I've got a laptop. So if I would get one of these chairs, what else would I need to do to optimize my work?
You would need a height adjustable table, preferably with the belly pocket in the center, because the belly pocket is allowing you to get elbow support on the side of your body, which is relaxing your shoulders more than if your arms are like in front. So
it's some kind of moving table?
Yeah.
With pieces that come out where you can rest your hands?
That's right. The tabletop can be electronically or hydraulically or gas spring automated, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Controlled. But the main thing is that you can adjust it precisely to the right height. And you have the belly pocket. On the side of the belly pocket there are cushions where you can lower your elbows comfortably. And then the monitors need to be exactly in front of you so that it maintain also the good posture of the neck.
Okay, so normally I think when people work, they're possibly looking down. That's not the correct way?
No.
So
using the laptops alone is a bad way of working. Okay. So you should definitely have a docking station, separate keyboard, and separate monitor what you do, and use the laptop only in the buses and trains and airplanes or cafes when you are traveling.
So not an ideal way to work. And probably if we are using unoptimal ways to work, it's maybe that you don't get pain in your neck or your head immediately, but what is the long-term, like you talked about degeneration, what does it look like long-term for your health?
Well, we can see nowadays children who have been sitting the next 5 years in their life in a bad position, when they come to the grade 1 at school, they already have permanent defects in their body.
Okay.
So it will start very, very early. I've seen it in the schools myself, and it is so tragic and sad to see children who cannot find a good posture anymore. And the longer we sit, usually our sitting history is our age -2, because when we have been 2, we have started to sit. And if we are sitting too long with these kind of games, what are put on our laps that we don't move around and play around, like healthy children should, but which are like hooked down with some electronic toys and so on, which is unnatural, then the bad process already begins.
What are your top tips? Obviously, optimal chair and a moving table. If people don't have access to these right now, but they want to start making steps towards improving, or have children who they would like to encourage. I have children who game. So what would you say is the next step? Take breaks, go outside? What would you recommend?
Yeah, well, I think the parents need to be parents in the family and put the rules so that the children, no matter how interesting programs or games they have on the screens, there needs to be limits, how long you can do it. And if you ask the experts, the limits are quite narrow. So the children should be working with screens very short time during the day, actually, for their best. They should go outside.
What's the optimal time?
Optimum time. Well, it depends on the age, but children who are younger than school age, it's 1 hour a day with screens, no more than that. Any screens.
Okay. And then if you are using screens, take some breaks outdoor. Is there some kind of movement you recommend?
Yes, that the children are pushed outside and they get to know forest, and they get to know parks, and they get their imagination what kind of games they can do over there. But for that they need a group of children, they need instructor which is really with them and helping them to find the games over there, and not only working with their mobile.
And you're on this mission to change the world through better posture. So what are if you had to leave behind a legacy and tell us the most important thing you want our audience to know, what would that be?
Yeah, I want to raise the awareness of the world. If we do that, then already the changes start to happen. And I'm rather talking about sitting health awareness than posture awareness.
Okay.
And the Sally concept, what I'm representing and what I've created, is the sitting health concept with the habits, with the clothes, with the furniture, with ergonomics, and everything connected, the whole package, the way of life.
You mentioned clothes, and I remember a couple years ago, I was standing with you at the Biohacker Summit, and this girl walked by with these really tight jeans on. And you were saying that she probably thinks she looks really good in those tight jeans, but if she knew that the block of her circulation was causing her to have cellulite, she probably wouldn't be that happy to wear them. I had never heard that before. What is it about clothing that we should keep in mind for our health?
Any clothing which is leaving marks on your skin when you wear them, socks, shoes, belts, underwear, bra, belt, watches, anything at all, is a bad cloth. So don't use it.
Don't use it at all, or don't use it as much as possible.
You use it in the parties.
Yes.
But don't use it regularly in the day.
So it's almost, you're speaking about like changing the society and the dynamic in which we nowadays call normal, which is actually a very sick normal, because it's not supporting us to be resilient and
it's
happy
only
and healthy.
For men and especially for women, we have millions of opportunities to choose in a smart way. And if we become aware, we do choose the smart way. But if we are not aware, then we choose the unsmart way.
What does better sitting have to do with our immune systems?
A lot.
How are they related?
Yes. With good optimized sitting environment, we can boost the circulation, which is the main thing for the boosting circulation is that it's transporting the pathogens through immune vessels into the lymph nodes, and in the lymph nodes there are killer cells which kill the microbes, in this case COVID viruses. And if this system works very well, and if there are enough of those T cells, this person never falls ill with COVID-19.
Okay.
And the other thing is that if with good sitting habits we can and should cut down inflammation factors in the body, because the inflammation is a big risk factor for weakening immune system.
I think that if all our audience knew that sitting better would make them immune to COVID, they'd probably be pretty eager to start moving and adjusting.
Well, Jaakko was giving a good nutrition lecture before me, so his knowledge, this science together with mine, and I think we should have nothing to worry about.
Thank you very much, Vessi, for being with us here at the Biohacker Summit in Helsinki.
My pleasure.
A great day
My
so
pleasure.
far.
Let's become aware and benefit.
Thank you.